What's up, everybody? UFC Vegas 113 just wrapped up. It's KZ here. I'm going to go ahead and do a full card recap here, talking about all the fights on the card. We're going to go ahead and start from the top and work our way down to the bottom. First things first, Mario Bautista versus Vinicius Oliveira. Go ahead and leave a like on the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. It was not close at all. Statistically here, it says Vinicius Oliveira landed 12 significant strikes. Mario Bautista landed 5 takedowns, 49 strikes, just overall dominated the fight from start to finish. Vinicius Oliveira looked like he was gassed out in the second round. He was breathing heavy at the end of round 1. Mario Bautista just ragdolled this man, beat the fuck out of him, ended up getting a rear naked choke at 4 minutes and 46 seconds left. With 14 seconds left of round 2. Round 2 is almost over, but, Vinicius Oliveira gets choked out, gets brutalized, gets shown levels by Mario Bautista. Mario Bautista has come a long way from his performance against Jose Aldo, where he just kind of pressed him up against the cage and didn't do much. How good is Jose Aldo? That's the real question here. But no, Mario Bautista, he did himself proud with that performance. Nothing boring about that at all. He went out there and whooped Vinicius Oliveira's ass, made him look like he didn't even belong in that cage with him. Fucking Mario Bautista was out there looking like an Aztec warrior. Fucking the way that he put that beating on Vinicius Oliveira. God damn. Total domination from start to finish. Yeah, man, he just used his wrestling. Vinicius Oliveira just couldn't hang with Mario Bautista. Not even close. Wasn't even close. Bautista just completely blew him out of the water. Yeah, man. I mean, fuck. Vinicius Oliveira, I was expecting that fight to be closer. I picked Mario Bautista. Your boy did pretty good on the picks this card, even though we didn't put out the full card picks video. But let me see. Let me go ahead and show you guys. Let me click on the right thing. We went 11-2 on the card. We're wrong on Gafurov and Cachoeira. Cachoeira's literally the fucking worst fighter in the UFC, men or women. She's just absolutely fucking terrible. Muin Gafurov missed weight by 5 pounds and he still lost. Ended up tapping out at the last second of the fight. But, let's just go ahead and keep going in order here. Kyoji Horiguchi put on an absolute master class against Amir Albazi, just fucking whooped his ass in rounds 2 and 3. Round 1 was pretty competitive. Looked like Albazi kind of dropped him with a straight right hand. Towards the end of the round, Kyoji just kind of, fell down to his back, just popped right up immediately. I don't think it hurt him too much. I think he was more like off balance. But Albazi dropped him to end that first round, and then Kyoji Horiguchi just totally took over the fight. He was shooting for takedowns. He was controlling Albazi up against the fence, landing big, hard shots on the feet, great punches. This little fucking bastard is so fast, too. Kyoji Horiguchi is like lightning, the way that this guy flies around the cage. He's just so fast with the way he comes in and out with the karate-style footwork. His lateral movement is crazy. He's a little Speedy Gonzalez over there, but I guess like a Speedy Yamamoto because he's Japanese. But no, man, Kyoji Horiguchi is really fucking good. I want to see him fight for the title. I want to see him fight maybe, I don't know, Manel Kape if we're going to see Pantoja versus Van, or, the winner of I just want to see this dude fight for the title is basically my point. Like he's incredible, really, really good fighter, landing big shots on Amir Albazi. He landed a solid left hook, I think, in round 2 or 3 that hurt Albazi, had him on wobbly legs. It was in the third round, yeah. He landed like a nice left hook over the top as he feints. He goes to feint for the level change, and as he's feinting down for the level change, he brings that left hook over the top, clipped Albazi with that a few times, actually, hurt him bad in round 3, had Albazi all sorts of busted up. He was defending the takedowns well, breaking off and, getting back out into range where he's strong. Albazi just could not get it going against Kyoji Horiguchi. Albazi's really fucking, he's really taken some damage in these last couple of fights that he's had against Morono and now Horiguchi. Horiguchi is a very special fighter. I got him by decision, got that call right. And yeah, man, Bautista and Horiguchi absolutely killed it tonight. Great performances from both of them. And then, speaking of a performance that was not great, we got Rizvan Kuniev versus Jailton Almeida. Jailton Almeida actually was the one getting smotherfucked this time against the cage. Kuniev was doing a lot of clinching. These guys were going back and forth in the striking. Jailton Almeida was not able to get Kuniev down. He wasn't able to just hug him to a decision like he wanted to. And yeah, Jailton Almeida was pretending to yawn like he was bored because he was being held up against the cage. Fucking hypocrite, bro. How do you think Volkov felt? How do you think Derek Lewis felt? So get the fuck out of here. You're not allowed to complain about somebody holding you up against the cage. You fucking hypocritical motherfucker. All right? So yeah, Rizvan Kuniev was able to keep the fight on the feet. They were going back and forth. A lot of clinching up against the cage from Kuniev. Pretty fucking boring fight. I was expecting if Kuniev was going to be able to keep it on the feet, he was going to get a stoppage here. But nope, he was pretty lackluster fight in the heavyweight division between those two. Which isn't a surprise because it's a Jailton Almeida fight, but I was expecting Kuniev to do a little bit more on the feet with the striking, especially with the hands. I thought that if, Jailton was going to be stuck on the feet with him, Kuniev was going to be able to land big, hard shots and get him out of there. I thought that Jailton was going to wilt and quit and be like, oh, I can't fucking hug this dude to a decision. I'm out of here, facing adversity. But no, Jailton, he took some shots. He took some solid shots, and he kept coming, not kept coming forward, but he stayed on the feet. He was backing up a lot, but, he didn't get put out, didn't really get rocked or wobbled or anything. He was landing decent shots himself. Jailton, he can strike. He just chooses not to. He just chooses to lay on top of people for 15 minutes and fucking shit. I don't know if they're going to cut him after this one, but we'll see. It was a boring-ass fight. Then we got Mikhail Oleksiejczuk versus Marc-André Barriault. This was a fucking fun-ass fight. These dudes were going back and forth. Oleg hurt Marc-André Barriault in round one with a big straight left hand. Barriault was coming back, throwing big volume at Oleksiejczuk. Both guys were hitting each other with big shots. Both guys were putting damage on each other. Oleksiejczuk ended up getting the decision win. I was expecting Oleg to get a KO in round one. It looked a little bit likely with that big left hand that he landed on Marc-André Barriault, but Marc-André Barriault is tough, man. He's a lot more durable, I guess, than we're giving him credit for, because a lot of people were like, oh, yeah, Oleg KO. But nope, he wins a decision. Similar thing happened with Daniil Donchenko over Alex Morono. But Oleksiejczuk, he showed that he's the better fighter, but he just couldn't get Marc-André out of there. Marc-André hung tough. They were going back and forth. It was a sick-ass fight. It was a sick scrap. I recommend going back to watch it if you did not see it. And then we've got Farid Basharat versus Gene Matsumoto. Farid Basharat wins a decision. What a surprise. But it was a split decision, actually. It was a pretty closely contested fight. In the third and second round, really, John Matsumoto was starting to outdog Farid Basharat. Farid Basharat early on in the fight, I'd say 15, 20 seconds into round one, landed a nice lead elbow on Gene Matsumoto right under his left eye, and made a pretty significant cut under Gene's eye. Doing a lot of shooting for takedowns, a lot of clinching, landing solid jabs as Gene Matsumoto was trying to pressure forward, but Matsumoto's pressure and tenacity just started to wear on Farid Basharat. He started just getting into his face, started landing big shots, started scoring his own takedowns as well. It was a really, really close fight. Gene Matsumoto is a good fucking fighter. He's a dog. Farid Basharat was not having an easy night in there against Gene Matsumoto. Gene Matsumoto's not a Chris Gutierrez where he's just not going to let his hands go and he's just going to let you beat him up all around the cage. Nope. Gene Matsumoto was in there fighting hard from start to finish. Did not give Farid Basharat any kind of lax moments in that fight. Fucking sick performance from Gene Matsumoto, even in a loss. A lot of people thought it was a robbery. I don't know if I thought it was a robbery. I mean, the fight could have gone either way. It was a split decision, obviously, so I wouldn't have been mad if Gene Matsumoto won. He's the more entertaining fighter. I was rooting for him, but Farid Basharat, he's really good, even though he is fucking boring. He was able to secure control positions and land solid shots. I would say that he won round one, and maybe you can give him round two, but I'd say Gene definitely won round three because he was just putting it on Farid Basharat. The longer the fight went, he was just getting in his face. He was making it scrappy, making it ugly. not letting Farid have any room to breathe. But Farid ends up getting the split decision. It is what it is. I picked him by decision, so I'm not too mad about it. But I wish Gene, being the more entertaining fighter, could have gotten that one. But yeah, the picks 11 for 2, fucking solid ass picks from your boy tonight. Now we've got Dustin Jacoby versus Julius Walker. Julius Walker, he did a good job in round 1, pressing Jacoby up against the fence, taking him down. And then Dustin Jacoby in round 2 just puts it on him, lands a big right hand big straight right hand, not over the top really. He just got him right down the middle, caught him clean. Julius Walker gets dropped. He gets put down on the ground. Jacoby's following him up with some ground and pound. Dan Miragliotta's just not stopping this fucking fight. But Jacoby just kept it going. Julius Walker tried to grab his glove in the second round as well. Jacoby was like, what the fuck? And he's like all pissed off, you could see. And then he just kept going for the finish, lands some more big shots on him, ended up getting him out of there in round 2. Sick ass fight from Dustin Jacoby, sick performance. Got that nice KO over Julius Walker. Asked Donald Trump if he wanted to go golfing with him afterwards. He wanted to fight at the White House, which, I guess if you're into that fucking sort of thing. I actually heard that the UFC White House tickets come with a free 12-year-old if you buy that and you're a elite politician. That was a terrible joke. All right, but hey, fucking, I'm not on the Epstein list. All right, it's not my fault that those guys are a bunch of fucking, you know what I'm saying. But that's not what this is about. We're talking about Dustin Jacoby and TKOing Julius Walker, and yeah, man, sick performance. Questionable post-fight interview, but it is what it is. Now we've got Daniil Donchenko going against Alex Morono. This somehow went to a decision. I have no idea why the fuck Daniil Donchenko did not start to put it on him in rounds 2 and 3. Alex Morono was a dead man walking into this fight. The KO was minus 170 from Daniil Donchenko. Like, come on, this guy was supposed to go in there and fucking make light work of Alex Morono, who's just a skinny, fat lightweight. Man, I picked Donchenko KO round 1. Ended up going to a decision. I really do not understand why he didn't try to put more of a stamp on this and get the finish. He was a minus 950 favorite. Like, come on, man. You got to get fucking Alex Morono out of there, who's lost his last couple of fights by KO. He got TKO'd by Carlos Leal. I guess only his last fight by KO, which is fair. I mean, he went to a decision against Daniel Rodriguez, lost his decision against Niko Price. I don't know. I guess he hasn't been getting knocked out as much as I thought he has been, but, before that, he got knocked out by Santiago Ponzinibbio in 2022. Before that, got knocked out in 27 seconds in round 1 by Chaos Williams in 2020. I don't know. I guess Alex Morono is a bit more durable than I gave him credit for, but, Daniil Donchenko was landing solid leg kicks that was hurting Alex Morono. Alex Morono came into that fight with a knee brace. Knee sleeve, whatever you want to call it, and Daniil Donchenko was landing some solid leg kicks that were looking to be hurting Alex Morono. Really fucking put it on him, and I really just thought that he could have gotten the KO here. I thought that he could have gotten the finish, but it is what it is, man. This is a good learning experience for Daniil Donchenko. He's only 24 years old. Should have finished Alex Morono, but it is what it is. I'm sure that he's going to go ahead and look better in his next fight. Kid's got potential, but I was expecting a little bit more from him. Going up against Alex Morono, considering he was a minus 950 favorite. Now, this was a fucking performance. Nikolay Veretennikov versus Niko Price. Good Lord, man. Poor Niko Price came in on taking this fight on short notice. Nikolay Veretennikov really fucking put it on him, really damaged him bad. Niko Price didn't really have much success at all in this fight. Let me see how many strikes did this dude even land? Yeah, it was not close. Veretennikov really fucked him up. And that being said, Veretennikov has not been impressive in the UFC. Yeah, Niko Price only landed 9 significant strikes. I mean, Veretennikov only landed 19, but those significant strikes were really fucking had some meat on them, Ended up TKOing Niko Price up against the fence, up against the cage, landed a solid knee to the body, landed a big elbow, landed a big right hand over the top, had fucking Niko Price all out of sorts against the cage, just out on his feet. It was a good stoppage. Niko Price was definitely going to get fucked up if that fight continued. yeah, Veretennikov was rolling downhill on him, and he was just going to keep putting big shots on him. Niko Price took this fight on 5 days' notice, took a lot of damage, but got a solid paycheck, I guess. But shit, is it worth it taking that amount of damage? He really got fucked up, but the referee did save him from taking any more unnecessary punishment. But Nikolay Veretennikov looked good, which is not something that I really thought that I'd ever be saying, that Nikolay Veretennikov looked good. But Niko Price, I mean, he just got fucked up, really. But yeah, man, Nikolay Veretennikov had a solid performance, got a round 1 TKO. Good for him. He was supposed to be fighting Jose Henrique Souza, who I guess is coming in off of the Dana White Contender Series. No, what the fuck? He was just some debutant, not even coming off the Dana White Contender Series. Huh. Well, it is what it is. Okay, yeah. I guess I don't know what the fuck. He was supposed to fight Eric Nolan. Eric Nolan pulled out. It is what it is. But yeah, Veretennikov gets that win. Solid performance. And then we've got Ketlen Souza versus Bruna Brasil. This was boring as fuck. Ketlen Souza was pressing Bruna Brasil up against the cage for fucking 15 minutes. Terrible performance. I don't give a fuck about this fucking fight, bro. Bruna Brasil should have gotten this decision. She was looking solid in round 1, but then, Ketlen Souza came forward with her fucking Brazilian lesbian pressure, and she got the win. I'm not going to talk about this anymore. Nobody gives a fuck about that fight. Javid Basharat versus Gianni Vasquez. Javid Basharat knocked Gianni Vasquez down in round 1 with a solid fucking right hand, put him on his ass. Looked like he was going to get that stoppage, but the referee was just like, nope. The UFC tells me not to stop these fights so they don't have to pay out $25K for these finished bonuses. And then, Gianni Vasquez came back in the fight, hurt for Javid Basharat really bad in round 2. Ended up dropping him as well. Javid Basharat, his brother, was able to, survive round 2, come back, get some takedowns, survive essentially, and just, do the same thing in round 3, get the takedown, win a decision. Javid Basharat getting dropped by the guy that came in on like 2 days' notice is not a good look, even though he did miss weight by 5 pounds, which, you could give Javid a little bit of a pass for that. I'm sure that if Gianni Vasquez actually made weight, he probably would have gotten knocked out and put out in round 1. But those extra 5 pounds, that extra hydration in his brain, was able to help him, stay in that fight. But Javid Basharat gets a decision win. Then we've got Cong Wang versus Eduarda Moura. This was a pretty sick ladies fight. Cong Wang landed a straight right hand as Eduarda Moura was kind of ducking down for a takedown. I think Wang was even going to the body, and Moura just ducked right into it, and she fucking caught her right in the nose, broke Eduarda Moura's nose. Eduarda Moura just had to hang on for dear life for the rest of that first round. Cong Wang was landing some solid ground and pound before she just got controlled. Second round, Eduarda Moura just wrestle fucked Cong Wang, had her in a tight rear naked choke. I'm surprised that Cong Wang didn't tap out. She wasn't even fighting the hands. I don't even know how that choke really didn't finish the fight, or how Wang Cong ended up getting out of that. She might have just been pressing her chin down as hard as she could, and I don't know. She wasn't fighting the hands. She wasn't fighting the lock, but she ends up coming back in round 3, is able to defend the grappling, just puts really big damage on her. Eduarda Moura beats the fuck out of her, has her all bloodied up. Wang Kong's trying to finish the rear naked choke. It's like all wonky looking technique. I don't know, man. Wang Cong needs to work on her grappling, dude. That's all I got to say, because she almost lost this fight due to just not being able to get up from the ground in rounds 2. Luckily, in round 3, she was able to reverse the position, land some big shots on Eduarda Moura, who was tired, beaten up, probably couldn't breathe too well because of her broken nose, all the blood in her mouth and face and nose and sinuses. And yeah, man, Eduarda Moura was beat up in this fight. She looked very bad, but Wang Cong gets a decision. Looks good on the feet, looked really bad on the ground. But yeah, it ended up being enough for her to get the win here. Then we've got Jakub Wikłacz versus Muin Gafurov. Man, talk about a last-second victory. Jakub Wikłacz ends up getting that guillotine choke at 4:59 of round 1. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. 4:59 of round 1. Muin Gafurov taps out at the very last second of the fight. Apparently, Jakub Wikłacz was up on the cards, which I didn't really expect. I was thinking that, Muin Gafurov was going to win a decision there. I could have given him rounds, maybe round 1 as well as and then round 3. I thought that he was winning until he got submitted. But, apparently Wikłacz was up 2-1 on the cards. But, Wikłacz just ends up getting that submission, cashes that submission prop for everybody that had played it. Looked solid. He looked pretty good considering Muin Gafurov missed 5 pounds, missed weight by 5 pounds. Wikłacz has a hell of a chin on him. Gafurov was landing big shots. Wikłacz was able to take him, eat him, just, have good dominant grappling positions on the ground. He got a solid reversal over Muin Gafurov, I think in either rounds. I think round 2. Muin Gafurov took him down. Wikłacz was able to just sweep him with his legs. He kind of... I'm not a fucking jiu-jitsu black belt, bro. I can't fucking tell you what... He used his butterfly guard to use an uchimata to fucking flip him over his head. No. He fucking put his legs up under Muin Gafurov's nuts, and then he fucking flipped this dude over and ended up in full guard, or ended up in like in half guard, top mount position. That's as best as you're gonna get from your boy KZ. I'm sorry about it. I'm sorry, you jiu-jitsu nerds, that I don't know the fucking exact fucking Uchimata fucking butterfly octopus K guard sweep. I'm sorry. All right. But yeah, Jakub Wikłacz ends up getting the fucking guillotine in round 3, chokes Muin Gafurov out. That's what that fucking weight bully, fucking weight cheat, missing weight gets. And then we had Klaudia Syguła versus Priscila Cachoeira. Holy fucking shit. Priscila Cachoeira is the worst fighter I've ever seen in my entire life. Just got her fucking head boxed off in round 1, came forward with her dumb idiot fucking Neanderthal pressure in rounds 2 and 3. It just ended up taking big shots. Klaudia Syguła looked good. I picked Priscila Cachoeira by knockout. I have no fucking idea why. Earlier I had Klaudia Syguła by submission, but I just ended up pick flipping. It is what it is. I thought that Priscila Cachoeira was going to be able to catch her. But yeah, Priscila Cachoeira, she just ended up catching a beating. Priscila catch a beating, lost a decision. She got outstruck for 3 rounds. I was expecting if this fight were to stay on the feet, Priscila Cachoeira would win, but that just shows that I'm never going to pick her again. She's fucking terrible. And it is what it is. You live and you learn. At least I didn't lose money on her fucking garbage ass. But yeah, that was it. Sick ass performance from Kyoji Horiguchi. Sick ass performance from Mario Bautista. Really showed levels in that fight. Absolutely shit in Vinicius Oliveira's face. Vinicius Oliveira, I don't know who he's going to fight next. He's got to go back to the drawing board. That dude cuts like 700 pounds to make bantamweight. But who knows if he's going to move up to 145 or what's going to happen with Vinicius Oliveira. But really, 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 really bad performance. He gassed in like 6 minutes. He was totally gassed out in round 2. Mario Bautista fucked him up. But that should be it. That was the UFC 113. Pretty sick card, pretty solid fights outside of the women's fights. When Cong was good. But yeah, man. Go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will catch you guys on the next card and next time. And check out the most recent video that I posted on the channel, the most wanted fights of 2026. In that fight, I talk about, grudge matches, #1 contenders fights, title fights that we want to see moving forward into the year. But yeah, peace out, bros. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you next time. Peace.